It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Super Bowl halftime preview that they showed for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. It also included interviews with the cast and crew, which we're not going to really break down. You can go check it out if you're interested, but we're particularly going to be breaking down the new scenes that were in the preview and also the new dialogue that was in there. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with this breakdown. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So we have this shot of Rick, and he has a bullet next to his head, as if he's contemplating committing suicide. And in the voiceover, we hear him say, "I couldn't get back to you, I tried, but I failed." And I'm assuming that because he failed, that might have been what triggered him to be contemplating what he's contemplating in this particular scene. And then we also have this shot, which is of Rick. We have a CRM bus in the background and some CRM workers or the people that are working at the calling center. But Rick is looking up in the sky, and this connects directly to something that was in the trailer. He looks up and sees a CRM helicopter. And as we've talked about before, this is probably the moment he realizes that he can't escape where he is. He needs to climb the ladders of the CRM military, get himself a helicopter, and then he can think about escaping. So I think that's pretty much what's going on in Rick's head right here. We also have this pretty cool shot of Rick and some other workers or prisoners. We see them wearing the CRM calling center jackets, and obviously we see a red light in the background, and that's probably where the CRM helicopter is. Everyone is carrying some sort of weapon, and Rick is right there in front. This is the exact place where they're faced with a horde of walkers, some of which have flames inside of them, and they have to kill it. And of course, this is where Rick potentially has to cut off his own hand in order to survive. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit, but we have this shot also of Rick using the hammer to chop off a walker's head. We see that here as well. Pretty awesome stuff. And then we see Rick here as well, killing another flaming walker. And then we have him with the hammer here as well, killing a walker. Not much to really break down. All of these are really showing sequences where he's killing these walkers in the woods, some of which have flames inside of them. And then we have this pretty interesting shot of Rick. He's next to a tree, and he doesn't look good. And fans are speculating that this is right after he chops off his own hand. That's why he's looking like that. He has that shock on his face. So it's going to be interesting to see whether that is true or not, but it definitely appears to be that exact moment. We have this awesome shot of a burned walker on the ground, and there's flames around it. It looks pretty sick in terms of the visuals. We have this shot of Michonne and the new character that she's with, Nat, who's helping her in her mission to find Rick. We have this one as well, where he puts a blanket around her to keep her warm. Then we have this cool shot of Rick running. It appears that he is wearing the CRM soldier's uniform, which is pretty awesome. And then we have this shot, which is Michonne walking the opposite way. Of course, these are probably from different timelines. So at some point, Rick was dealing with something here, and then later on, Michonne found the place. That's what they're showing here. It's like a parallel situation. And of course, I'm assuming that Michonne is going to find some clues, more clues about Rick being there and being alive. That connects directly to another shot that was in this teaser as well as in the trailer with Michonne. She had like a kitchen knife, so that's related. And then we have this shot of Michonne's katana. She's holding it and she's walking into some sort of a room. And then we have this scenery shot. Not much to break down. Looks beautiful though. And then we have this shot of Nat playing with Michonne a little bit, joking and everything. He says, "So let me get this straight. Rick blew up on a bridge and it's been years," as if to say, why are you even trying? But in a joking way. So they're really trying to have fun. It's sarcasm. We have another character, two other characters. These two characters actually were the people that found Michonne on her last episode. But he says, tread lightly, Nat. So just joking around. And then Michonne says what he said. Not much to break down, just a cool comedic scene right here between these four characters. And then we have this shot showing the four and also the caravan that they're a part of in the background. And then we have Michonne here saying, you've been telling me to go home, referring to Nat. And then Nat says, you should. And then she says, it's been so long. So I'm assuming that this is before Nat really pushes her to find Rick. We have this cool shot of some sort of building or outpost. Obviously, it's like a chemical factory, but it's used by the CRM or the CRM is raiding it. Looks pretty awesome. That's probably connected to this same place. And we have a CRM helicopter approaching from the sky. Looks pretty cool. We have Okafor here, a CRM lieutenant for the special forces, which is awesome. We saw this in the trailer as well, but this is just a slightly longer shot. And then we have Okafor again, wearing civilian clothing here, punching someone. It looks like there's some weapons in the background and everything, so this could be like a CRM outpost or something like that. We have this shot of Thorn wearing a CRM soldier's uniform, special forces, of course, and she's pointing her gun at someone. She's bloodied and everything. Interested to see what this is all about. Maybe she's fighting Jadis, maybe something like that. We have Thorn here as well. Not much to break down. It looks like she's looking at someone. And there's something in front, but I can't make out what it is. It could just be some equipment. It could be like a walker that has things around it to keep it in its place or something. And then we have this cool shot of Nat firing this weapon. It's like a harpoon type thing. Now, if you remember, Michonne was also using a similar weapon to blow up part of the herd, which is super interesting and cool. But after he does that, after he shoots, we see an explosion and CRM soldiers getting killed in the process. Now, I don't know if these scenes are related or not. It might be, it might not be. It's hard to say. We have this quick shot with Major General Beal asking Rick, you asked me how we won, how we survived. How did you survive? Now, this is super interesting because he says, you asked me how we won. So I'm assuming that Rick at some point asked him how the CRM was built and how they won their battles and stuff like that early on. I'm assuming that's the conversation they had. And then he asks Rick, how did you survive? Now, I take that two ways. Either he's meaning that, you survived because we helped you, rubbing it in his face and trying to show him that they have leverage on him, or that he owes them and he has a debt to pay, or he's generally and genuinely asking how Rick survived all this time. But Rick replies with sacrifice. So sacrifice is what saved him, what made him survive. We have this cool shot of Rick fighting someone. It looks like it could be a CRM soldier that he's fighting, but we don't know that for sure. But he's on the ground and everything. We have this shot of a walker getting stabbed in the head. And then we have this shot of Michonne killing either a walker, like a fresh walker, or a survivor. But we do see like the yellow gas in the background, which is the yellow gas that the CRM helicopters dropped where Michonne and her crew were. And then we have this shot of Jadis. Looks interesting because of the way she's smiling, but not much to break down. We have this shot as well. I don't know what she's holding, but it looks like she's holding something. Maybe a walker head or something, but it looks super weird. But she is in a particular spot that we also see here with a gun in the back. And if we go back, there was another shot in the trailer where Michonne was in this exact same spot. Now, I don't know whether this is a scene where Michonne and Jadis are in conflict, like fighting back and forth, or whether these are from two different periods of time. And maybe Michonne finds something about Jadis that gets her to realize that Jadis is also connected to all of this. But it also connects to this shot of Michonne, which was in the trailer. We also have this shot of Jadis in the teaser. This is probably in the exact same location. We have this shot of Michonne. She's looking up, she's smiling, and as we said before, because this was also in the trailer, this is probably Michonne seeing Rick or hearing Rick for the first time after a long, long time. And that's why she's reacting that way. Maybe Rick is on a helicopter or something. But in the voiceover, Rick says it's the end and then the start, teasing that this might be the end of some story, but the start of another. That's all that there was in this teaser. A lot that was packed in there, a lot of cool scenes, and a lot of it connected to a lot of things that we've been talking about. But that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.